Nowhere in the Bible does being a follower of Christ ask you to be stupid and blind. There are places for faith, and there are times God asks us to do things that I'll say don't make sense, right? And as you step out in faith in those places, God always proves himself, but that's not the norm, okay? That's not the every single day thing. That's not the, hey, I'm just an idiot thing. That's the time God stretches you and asks you to do things. But the most time, God gives you steps of confirmation along the way that proves himself. It's not a big jump usually. It's take a step and see. Okay, take a step and see. Okay, take a step and see. That's how God usually does that, right? And so the point is, if I'm constantly leaning on my own understanding, if the thing that stands between me and trusting God is my intellect, is that God's not matching up to my arguments against him, the problem is I'm struggling with trusting him. Okay? So at the end of the day, well, how do I know God's will? Can I know God's will? What is God's will? Well, if my intellect is always going to be arguing with God's will, then I'll never really understand God's will. Because there are times that God's will for me is counter to my intellect or to my understanding. I can tell you, for time's sake, I don't have time to get into a lot of my personal stories. But I have lots of personal stories where things that would be what you would think would be the path of my life were not what God's plan for me was.